infidelity. Recent studies have shown a dramatic increase in the number of women who are cheating on their husbands. The Secret Lives of Wives on the cover of Newsweek magazine. Well, let's talk about it with our next guests. In our studio, we're joined by Lisa Miller, Newsweek senior editor, and in San Francisco, marriage therapist Laurie Moore is with us. Lisa, I was reading your article last week while I was multitasking on the treadmill with my 3 children there, and I said, who in the world would have time, even if you had the inclination? But what women are likely to fall into infidelity?
It's a particular group of women. These are women who are probably between 35 and 45. They've been married for 10 years, 7 to 10 years. Their marriages are sort of automatic and rote. Their kids are old enough so that they're at school and they don't need intensive caretaking, and it gives the women a chance to look around.
Yeah, we have a list of some of the symptoms, if you will. Who's likely to have an affair: lack of creativity, married to fill emptiness, objectification of mate, fantasy, decision to marry. And let me go to you, if I could. Laurie, is a lot of the problem also just that you didn't marry right?
A lot of the problem actually is poor choice in marriage. A lot of people do not look carefully during the dating process to see, is this someone with whom I can share a lifelong friendship? Is this someone with whom I'm compatible in a number of areas? They jump thinking, oh, this person is going to fill some void inside of me, instead of thinking marriage is a wonderful way to share a rich, loving experience, but it has to be generated and regenerated day by day.
So they're unfulfilled, but at the same time, Lisa, as your article points out, sometimes it's a crime of opportunity. Women are working. A lot of times it happens at the office. They have more freedom.
Right. A lot of women that we talked to didn't go into their affairs intending to have affairs. They were at work. The guy next to them was cute. They started having lunch, and one thing led to another. Or they were online, and they were looking for gardening tips or chess tips, and they met somebody, and the next thing you know, they were meeting that guy in a hotel room. So it wasn't intentional in a lot of cases.
Right, but it happens. At the same time, I guess what you need to do is to take a look at preventing it. And Laurie, back to you. A whole list of things that you can do. Be creative. A lot of people like to have date nights with their husbands. Choose intelligently before you get married. But I have to ask you about this one. Use the family pet as a role model. Laurie, can you explain that one?
Yeah, well, that was said in fun, but when you look at your family pet, the family pet always loves everyone. And when you get tired of someone that you were once interested in, who was once so wonderful and special, the family pet is still loving, kissing, licking, thinking the world of that person. I said it jokingly, but I mean it truthfully. You can generate the love you found for the person in the beginning every day. You don't need to go to a new person to look for excitement, because it's in fact you who's constantly creating the excitement that you seek. So create it with your mate by being grateful, by doing fun things, by looking for new ways to approach old situations.
And back in the book segment tonight, joining us now from San Francisco is Dr. Laurie Moore, a marriage and family therapist. So there seems to have been an explosion in this. Any reason why?
Yes, women want to feel alive, excited, and turned on, and some women are afraid of the reality of intimacy and a real relationship. So they avoid emotional risk, they avoid the physical risk of a one-night stand by going to the internet.
But women are more emotional, and they don't want to have demeaning images. They want an emotion attached to any kind of intimacy. Is that changing in America?
It's not changing, but we live in a fast-paced society that often encourages people to be distracted from their feelings and from their emotions, women and men. So a woman comes home from a busy day's work and turns on the internet and gets distracted instead of going to the realness of a real relationship.
Silly image. Get their needs met. I mean, what does that mean? They're bored with the guy's unattractive?
I'm talking about different needs. One, physical needs, and another is emotional needs. There are plenty of people who become addicted to all kinds of things, whether it's porn, alcohol, drugs, because they're not in touch with who they really are.
Who they really are. Well, look, I don't mind anybody, adults, they can do what they want to do. I'm not the morality police here. I just think it's a colossal waste of time. And how you get addicted to sit in front of a computer looking at these things and then chatting with people who are, to me, how do you treat it? How do you treat it?
Well, how I treat it is the same way I treat any kind of addiction if someone comes to me and is using it as an addiction. What I meant by the statement is who you are, who I am, is that we are full human beings with a wide range of emotions. And as soon as we are unable to feel those emotions, we will turn to something distracting.
A little box? A little box in front of you with the...
A little bottle, a little tablet.
No, I mean, but I never heard anybody say I'm going to get drunk because I want an emotional hit. You know, they want to get drunk because they want to escape. And I know this is an escape, too. But I don't see the emotional satisfaction to go into a little box and punching up porn. It might be fun, but emotionally satisfying?
But you bring anybody to me, you sit them down with me who says, oh, I'm having a little fun, at the level at which it's an addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, porn, whatever, there's more to it. There's some great fear or some great anger not being faced.
Okay, doctor. Here we go. Thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll wrap things up with the most ridiculous item of the day and some of your mail.
I had a lot of anger towards my ex-husband. I had a lot of anger for how he treated my son and how he treated me. And even anger towards myself for staying in the marriage far too long and beating myself up about it. And the anger had been going on for the long marriage. And even when I divorced him, I couldn't let go of the anger. And I have to tell you, I really have no idea how you do what you do. If somebody asked me, I would never be able to explain how you do it. But something about, because you're an amazing practitioner, and the process and just everything, the way that you helped me through it. At the moment when we were doing the seminar, I wasn't really buying into it. I mean, like, I did the whole process, but it wasn't like I thought, oh, I'm healed, I'm not going to feel anger anymore. And what I found is that, not that I wouldn't get angry at my ex-husband when he did something when it came to my son that I thought was wrong, but I would get angry and let it go. And all that churning and the stuff, the self-talk about, you know, the stuff that I would go over that was really not healthy for me, after the seminar, that all went away. And still, it's been a long time since the seminar. I just don't I don't have anger towards him unless it's momentary, anger about something, and then I let it go.